What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be doing some quizzes. That's right, and I'm going to be doing these quizzes on clickhole.com. Clickhole is kind of like a parody website. I think they're actually owned by The Onion, and yeah, they have some quizzes here which are very silly, to say the least. And today, at least one of the quizzes, I'll probably be doing a couple, but the first one I'm going to be doing is, can you convince Gandalf to start paying child support for his son who lives in Florida? So without any further ado, let's begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up and get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a shirt at Beanie Boy Clothing. Link in the description.
Gandalf the Grey is a powerful wizard of many great feats, but he has not yet risen to the responsibilities of fatherhood as legally specified by the state of Florida. He is known as a powerful and righteous sorcerer of lands afar. However, in the Miami-Dade area, Gandalf is simply viewed as a deadbeat dad who refuses to even pay child support for his son. Can you convince him to start paying up? We're off to a great start. 1. Gandalf pays for everything with acorns and bones. What? Because in Middle-earth, everyone is afraid he'll use his powerful magic on them if they point out that acorns and bones have no value. How will you introduce him to US currency so he can pay for his child support with something his single mother ex can use? This is so silly. I will take 5 bones and 3 acorns from him and hand him a $20 bill to establish an exchange rate. Oh, that's alright, I guess. I will ask for his spell book and present him with some cash and tell him, I'm a wizard now because I have your spell book. Now that you're not a wizard, you'll have to pay for things with these dollar bills instead of acorns and bones, you deadbeat. So just take his book from him and say, hey, I'm you, and now you're me. You gotta go pay. I will say, Gandalf, dollars are the bones of Florida, and then ask him for a blow-by-blow repay of the Battle of Helm's Deep. I don't know. I'm feeling one of the first two would be it, right? The first one makes sense. Actually, I think the second one, I like this one more. You know, take his book from him and say, here, you gotta go pay your kid's child support. You know, if he doesn't have his magic, people won't be afraid to tell him that acorns and bones aren't currency. We're gonna go with this one. What tips will you give Gandalf about explaining why he hasn't paid his child support in court? I will tell him to bring a copy of The Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray and then present it to the judge and say, this is what I've been doing, pal. Comprehende? I will tell him that he can't call his ex-wife an envoy of Sauron again, as even in Florida we know that the term is just as bad as bitch, and that he should be ashamed of himself that it even occurred to him. I will tell him to call upon a great eagle to fling the opposing council into the sky, or if his magic doesn't work in Florida, then to just give him a roundhouse kick to the chest. I would say the first one. The first one, it makes sense the most. You know, this is, I've been busy, okay? I think the first one makes sense. One thing you need to know about Gandalf in this situation is that he has dozens of children with hobbits back in Middle-earth. And he simply sends those who ask anything of him to Mordor. How will you convince him not to send his Floridian son to Mordor? I will tell him that Florida is the Mordor of this world. That's funny. I'm sure we'll have a good laugh after that joke, and he'll be in good enough mood to not damn his son to a hellish existence. I will bring him to one of his son's tennis games to show him that he's already being punished enough. I'd follow that up by telling Gandalf that tragically sons without fathers are 400% more likely to play tennis. I will tell Gandalf that he's the one who faced down Nazgul at Weathertop, so who am I to say whether his son or should not be thrown into the fires of Mount Doom? I think the first one, you know, tell him the Florida joke. I think that one is good. Gandalf will try to pawn off his responsibilities to the nearest short person he can find as soon as you confront him. Because in Middle-earth, he dumps all his problems on hobbits, who just sort of take it. Which short person who wouldn't put up with Gandalf's crap will you make sure to have around? I will have my 5'1" friend Louise, who is a single mom herself, close by and will ravage the wizard by unleashing the emotions she has cooped up from a lifetime of toil. That sounds like a good option. I will dress a trash can up as a hobbit, then hide inside. When Gandalf walks by, I will move the lid off the can so it looks like the hobbit is talking, and shame him for all of the times he saddled hobbits with his bastard children just because he was too lazy to put a condom on. And Danny DeVito. I like Danny DeVito. I love Danny DeVito. I'm gonna put Danny DeVito. I don't know, Danny DeVito or the mum. I think the mum actually probably worked more. Although I love Danny DeVito, I don't think he would be as confrontational as Louise over here. All right, Louise, you got this. You got this, Louise. I believe in you. When Gandalf cries, orcs can smell his tears and will quickly be upon you, inciting an epic battle of good and evil that could last centuries, which will only give him another excuse to not pay child support. How will you prevent him from weeping when you explain what he needs to do? I will keep saying things like, wow, that's the best staff I've ever seen. Is that a new staff? I want him to weep. The orcs will take care of this better than me. I will blindfold him so he thinks he's going to a surprise birthday party after this tough conversation. Once I got thinking about birthday parties and how fun they are, I might actually forget about the childcare thing and throw Gandalf a party for his 2021st birthday. Oh, no, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. You know, we don't want him crying. We don't want him crying because the orcs will come and fight. I think blindfolding him might be the best, just because the blindfold might absorb any tears, and therefore maybe the orcs wouldn't be able to smell it. We're gonna go with that. The logic checks out. All right, the last question. Gandalf will eventually break down and tell you that the only reason he hasn't paid yet is because he still wants to get back with his ex. Since no one in Middle-earth finds wizards sexy, what will you say in response to this revelation? I will tell Gandalf that the best way to a woman's heart is to pay the child support for the son you had with her 25 years ago before literally vanishing without a trace by using an enchanted teleportation stone. I got some good news for Gandalf. If he's been, 25 years, you don't have to pay child support after they're 18. I will tell him that no one has ever found him sexy, and he should resign himself to a fate of lonely penance for only the occasional pity hand compliment. Oh my goodness. I will slam a 6-pack of Blue Moon Winter Abbey Ale on the table and say, Gandalf, forget women. How about you teach me how to shoot a fireball out of my hands? You know what, I'm gonna say the first one. Let's give him hope. Let's give him hope. Now, have I convinced him? Let's find out. You have convinced! You have convinced! Your fair but stern moral lessons have made sense to the logical mind of Middle-earth's most powerful wizard. He has promised to do better and start paying his ex immediately. Look at this, everyone. We have success. We have success! Well then, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. I know it's very unique. I don't think I've done something like this in a long time, but I hope it was enjoyable. And yeah, if you guys want more of these kind of weird videos, make sure you leave a comment and make sure you give this a thumbs up. And yeah, if you're new, subscribe and join the family. Make sure you go check out the merch, link in the description. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Boop.